We're learning Leilun Nishmat Hashem Atov Yechezkel Yerucham ben Yaakov. Yechezkel Yerucham ben Yaakov.
רוחם, לא ירוחם.
לא, פה רשום ירוחם.
כן, כי זה מה ששמעתי, אמרה לי רק רוחם.
אוקיי, יחזקאל רוחם ben Yaakov. So we know the laws of Orla. Sit down. The laws of Orla is that a tree that in the first 3 years we're not allowed to eat its fruits. It's called Orla. And this is falls on all trees in the first 3 years, all fruit trees, obviously. And we're not allowed to eat or even benefit from these fruits. So if you have a mango tree, you planted a mango tree in your yard, or apple tree, whatever tree it is, fruit tree, the first 3 years you should not eat its fruit. You're not allowed to eat the fruit because it's called Orla. And it doesn't make a difference if you're in Israel or you're here. Wherever in the world, the first 3 years you should not eat the fruit. It says why? Why shouldn't we eat the fruit the first 3 years? Many of the trees, they don't give fruit so quickly, but some trees, they give fruit right away. So why shouldn't we eat it? So we know that Adam and Chava, Adam ate from the tree. Adam ate from the tree of knowledge, right? Chet Etz Hadat. He ate from the tree, and he just needed to wait. If he would have waited 3 hours, it would have been Shabbat, because Adam was created on Friday, and he ate right before Shabbat, 3 hours before Shabbat. So if he have waited these 3 hours, it would have been permissible to him to eat it. It would have been Shabbat, and it would have been Menucha L'chayei Olamim, a resting. It would be a time of rest forever and ever. We would have been living in paradise. But instead, he didn't wait. So because of these 3 hours, now we have to wait 3 years. We have to wait 3 years for the 3 hours that he didn't wait. Okay, so it's a tikkun, it's rectification for the 3 hours that he didn't wait. Now, it doesn't make a difference. It does not make a difference if the tree was growing, if the tree is planted to the ground or it's planted in a pot. Even if it's disconnected from the ground, you still have to wait for 3 years. And it doesn't make a difference if you planted it as a plant or you planted the seed in the ground. You still have to wait for 3 years. Now, fruits that are not growing on a tree, rather they grow on the soil, in the earth, like bananas, for example. For example, bananas, they're growing on a bush. They're not growing on a tree. The laws of Orla does not apply to them. Right, so the laws of Orla does not apply to any like bush type of a tree. And you're allowed to eat from the fruits even in the first year. There are bushes that the rabbis they debated. They weren't sure if we should eat from those bushes. If we should eat from fruits that are growing on these bushes. If they are called a tree or not. If they are a tree, then the laws of Orla applies to them. If they are Adama, the laws of Orla do not apply to them. For example, there is a bush called
banana.
No, the banana, we said it's Adama, everyone agrees. The debate is on passion fruit. He gives an example of a passion fruit. Is passion fruit Adama or Eitz? If it's Adama, then I don't have to wait. Pasiflo. If we have to wait for 3, if it's Adama, then I don't have to wait. And if it's Eitz, I have to wait 3 years. So there's a debate. What is it? I've also heard about papaya. Papaya is also, because there's a rule, a tree, right, it grows fast, and usually a real tree doesn't give fruit in the first year. Papaya gives fruit right away. So there is a debate, what is it? It's Hadama or it's Eitz? Again, if it's Hadama, we don't have to wait. If it's Eitz, we have to wait. And even fruits that are growing outside of Eretz Israel, we are not allowed to eat them whether they belong to a Jew or to a goy. If you see you have a neighbor, a goy neighbor, they're giving you mangoes, you should ask them, is it a tree that you just planted, or it's an old tree that you have? Because if it's a tree that he just planted, you should wait. You should not touch these fruits. But when it comes to, there is a distinction between Eretz Israel and the diaspora outside of Eretz Israel, because in Eretz Israel, it's biblical. The first 3 years, it's a biblical obligation to wait. Outside of Eretz Israel, it's rabbinical, meaning Chachamim decreed that we shouldn't eat the fruits outside of Eretz Israel in the first 3 years. So in Eretz Israel is a biblical commandment, it's from the Torah. Outside is rabbinical, it's the rabbis.
So therefore, in the top case also, it doesn't say that at all. It is prohibited everything.
So, let's say you have a tree with, that's oil, you're allowed to sell to the goy?
No, you said you're not allowed to have any kind of benefit
No,
from it.
no, from it, okay.
Can't have anor from it. Can't have any benefit from it.
Grapes are not, grapevines are under this?
Yes, because grapes are it. What do you say over grapes? Both right?
Oh, yeah, okay.
So then there's no doubt.